often a deal breaker at time of sale. It's not pleasant to ride with a broken fairing. The mirrors and the windscreen and all of the weight of the electric adjustment of that windscreen and the weight of the headlamp and of course the horns and the fairing mount, the forward half that's broken off. All of that and the speakers, if you still have the sound system installed, all of that is bouncing up and down. That's a lot shaking around. And while it doesn't really affect the handling, it's not pleasant to look at. So we are going to remove the fairing step by step and gain access to the fairing mount, where I can remove the fairing mount, assess the damage, and have it repaired, possibly even reinforced. And that's it. This is nothing exciting. You're going to need it's a minimal of tools. I am hoping to leave the lowers in place and just remove the upper. So here we go. We got to pull this panel. Unlock, fingers under, lift up. There's a release tab here. See? Push in, lift up, pull back. Push in, lift up, pull back. Push in, lift up, pull back. Lift, remove. 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lift the panel off. I'm not removing the whole fairing. Just got to wiggle these and they'll come apart. Isn't that terrible? Can you even see what it's supposed to be? It's almost impossible to see. It still works, but it's almost impossible to see. Next, we want to remove the box. You have to get to the screws underneath here. A whole row of screws. So you have to take this box out. This is the box. I'm going to remove the box. If this still had the sound system in it, there's a tool that would insert into the radio to release from the tabs here, and then you would lift the radio unit out. Dark in here. Lift this out. It's going to have the wiring from the radio, because, you know, the antenna and all. Gonna have to work our grommet out of the hole. Oh, I might not have had to do that. You know what's there? This is a cigarette lighter. Brown is ground and purple is power. Power's in the middle and brown's on the side. Here we go. So long. I could have just laid this up here, you know, if it still had the sound system or something to access what I need to get to, but I'm going to take it out. So, down here you have a bunch of screws. See these screws? This is a plastic cover. It's when you know you're over the middle of the hump there. When you need reading glasses for everything. And I don't mean one pair. I mean, and you know, one strength. I mean like a whole selection. From 0.75 up to, you know, like 10. Okay, I'm going to remove that piece. That's what this looks like. Take that out, because that's obviously securing the upper to the lower. I'm trying to do this removing as little as possible. If I get underneath here with a 10mm wrench, just keep spinning until the nut and the washer fall into your hand. Nut and washers. There is a wave washer on here as well. It's BMW's idea of a lock washer. Next, you have, again, a bolt with a wave washer and a big fender washer. The fender washers cradle the fiberglass. The fender washer will also be used when it's going to go against a rubber bushing of that size. So now we have this side of the fairing is loose. Don't pull this too hard. You will break the fairing. These fairings do break. Now, the next thing we want to do is work our way around. So next, we have this black panel here. Is that black panel underneath? That has to come off. This is just a filler panel. You don't need this. You guys that want a little more airflow in the summer, you could probably take this off. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and you'd be just fine. What I was saying about them glasses. Wiggle the green one. My next step is going to be to remove the upper plastic on the inside, which is going to require that I remove the electric windscreen. So all requires I remove the windscreen first and then the electric portion, because again there's screws underneath here. Hang on. Hang on. Look at this. No, you can't even see through this windshield. See? You can't see through it. You cannot see through this windshield. It is so beat you can't see through it. This bike would look nice with a nice fresh tinted shield, but other you got to get behind there too. We're back to this side. We're back to this side. How much stuff is attached to this plastic panel depends on you. If you have anything attached to these switches, you'll have to unplug them. The light in the middle was already unplugged in this case. Again, purple power, brown is ground, brown is dirt, brown is earth. Ground. And there's going to be a whole bunch of zip ties to cut. Many tie wraps to snip. How much of the wiring harness goes with the upper fairing? None. Turn signal. Oh. Headlamp unplugged. Parking lamp above it needs to be unplugged. You might get to do that while you're sliding this apart. I'm going to snip some things. I'm going to snip a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to snip. I try to get these under the heads. That way you can reuse the zip tie at a different location. You know, being a cheap bastard. But I'm not going to waste time searching for the heads. You know, if I see it, great. If not, too bad. So long. I am now in the predicament I was trying to keep you out of. So, what better way to learn than to watch me struggle through this? Ah, the tools are over there, too. Yeah, this is fun. Watch me scramble, try to hold the fairing with my leg. I have to be careful not to scratch the fuel tank because the metal brackets that hold those pockets are still in place and they'll dig right into the paint. Like I said, I'm trying to do this with removing as little as possible. Okay, there's going to be an electrical connector. Right here, squeezy wheezy. I set this down gently, like over there. Give that connector a little squeeze and a pull. Now, what the hell am I gonna do with that? Still got problems here. There's still wiring attached. We got a bunch of relays. Of course, we got that parking light. Don't forget about unplugging your horns. Toot, toot. You're missing out on the struggle. Trying to unplug the horns. It's not being nice either. Guess I take them off. Take them off. Take them off. Leave them dingly dangling. I have to get the instruments off. And for that we need an Allen. This sucks. I need a helper. I need a helper and there's nobody here. Alright, I got a friend to help. So I gotta remove the instruments here. Other than that, I think we're there. It's 5mm, but you know, your standard Allen wrench isn't long enough here to get in there. So I recruited a helper. I use a socket. And this isn't going to be exciting, so I'm going to stop filming because all I'm doing is taking the 4 bolts out of the back of the instrument cluster so that I can remove the cluster. You know what I mean? See if you qualify now. That's what holds these in. There's 4 of these. Make sure your wiring is detached. You don't want any last minute snags. Those clips are released that hold the upper to the lower instruments. You don't want them to fall. Instruments off. Just those 2. There. We're there! Ha! Fairing off. Now, do you see what has happened? Do you see here? You see here? It has sheared off. Broken here as well. And then, it's banging on the steering head. Completely broken off here. Severed upper and lower portion of this mount. Gone. It's broken here, 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 and here. This whole mount goes from here to there, to here, to there. And it's expensive. This can be fixed. This can also be reinforced. This really should have had a gusset under here to make that stronger. We are lucky in this case that these are not stripped. This happens sometimes. You'll find somebody got in there and over tightened and stripped the mounting screws to the steering head. Ouch. That can be fixed, but it usually requires the removal of the upper triple clamp and the steering stem. And if you're in that deep, it's a good time to do steering head bearings. We don't have to deal with that here. These are all tight. They're okay. We just have a broken mount. That happens. These fairings are heavy. That's all I've got for now. I have to get this to somebody with a functioning welder. And then once we get that fixed, I'll be putting this back together, and we'll get this ready for the road. Maybe it'll see a couple of tanks of fuel this year, and we'll get some video footage of such. Thank you, my friends. Good day. This has been a long one. It's almost 20 minutes. Just this segment. If you hung out to the end, you're better than I am. I might not even edit this because I don't even want to listen to myself again. Good day, my friends. Thank you. Take care. Nothing to celebrate. Man, if that wasn't 3.5 minutes of boring. Everyone still awake? Yawns and snores. More light or something. It's dark over here. Come on. See, this is why editing takes a long time. You know, you can't be all set up nicey nice like one would like. Just don't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Oh yeah, horns. We're still horny here. Damn it. Damn it. Now I'm really in a predicament. Stupid.